My thoughts on Cupcake as a player is very mature and Champion Ocean. Even if he hasn't played the Champion recently, he's been playing for quite some time that he always has just random picks.
Cupcake is a bit of an enigma sometimes. He has a very good foundation of just like game knowledge and how to play the game.
I think having someone on your roster that's won a split before is actually quite important because it can help bring over some of the like processes and methods and stuff that were in place when they won that split. So I think that's like pretty valuable to have.
He's been to Worlds, he's been in the OCS, been a coach, been a player. He's done everything that this region has to offer and he's still hungry for more. That level of success despite the age, it doesn't matter. You know, he is a player that continues to strive for excellence and once again, you know, it's just bonus points because he's a Kiwi. Is there a little bit of bias there? Of course there is, but I love him and glad to see that he's still playing the English trait here down under.
So heading into the Split 2 finals, there were a couple of major differences. The first was we had a new top laner, and the second was we were playing at MEO at Rod Laver Arena for the Melbourne Esports Open with the crowds and the whole arena set up. So that was really awesome and something that we were excited for. But in terms of what we expected from the series, there was a lot more confidence. Like everyone knew that we were gonna win.
Chiefs in the last 2 games have had to ban Tahm Kench, Kali, Nocturne on red side, so being on blue will open themselves up. I feel like this is gonna be a completely different draft from them. It has to be if they're gonna be able to claw themselves back and get to game number 5.
Our coaches actually booked our flight to Worlds. We didn't even know that, but that's how confident that they were. We knew that we were playing very well and what the Chiefs wanted to do, so maybe that gives a little bit of perspective.
The last Nexus turret is all that remains, and Direwolves, 4 splits, 4 titles, they cement their legacy as the OPL Kings!
And it was close, the back-to-back team fights. Chiefs trying to turn this one around, but the Direwolves, you mentioned mental toughness, they hold on. One team fight is enough and they just completely close.
My parents flew over from New Zealand to watch me. They don't have much experience with gaming. They had no idea what was going on, but they just came along and they really enjoyed it, and it was cool to see them there after we won with the confetti raining down on us. So yeah, definitely a lot of awesome memories, and it definitely was a privilege to, you know, compete at the very first MEO and lift the trophy there. So lifelong memories. With my parents and professional gaming, it started off clashing heads a lot. They didn't understand it. They didn't know that there was money or like you could actually strive for a career and challenge yourself in this whole scene. So it started off rough, and eventually they figured out that I wasn't bluffing, I wasn't messing around. I really enjoy it. I'm getting paychecks at least. They definitely supported me, and they want me to, you know, achieve my dreams of like being the best player that I can be. And yeah, my dad passed away earlier this year, but he was really proud of me, and he knew that I had a lot to offer in terms of like team environments and competition. And he's always had like a lot of faith in me. So whenever I think back on like what I want to do, what I want to achieve, even though he's gone physically, like I know he's always there supporting me. And yeah, wherever I am in my career, I'll always have like a lot of confidence in like feeling like I have backing from my parents, which is really cool. Going into Worlds, we all had that international experience from MSI, and of course we didn't want to repeat our performance. So I don't think there was like a specific game plan as to avoid it. We just knew what we didn't want to do, and we knew that we had to have a plan and trust each other and, you know, just give it our best shot again. It was a bit of a shaky start going into Worlds with Shern getting banned. In the moment, it didn't feel like the biggest deal because we knew we would get him for like the following games. Looking back on it, that was a pretty big deal because we were playing with like our substitute jungler. He was still around and we could still talk about what we wanted to do. We just didn't have as much scrim and game time with him. So for the last half of the tournament, it felt a little bit uncomfortable. Looking back on it, I don't think we would have made it out. We had a lot of personal development that we still needed to do individually, I think, and we needed some more opportunities to reflect. There weren't like many peaks, obviously. I think we only won like one game, maybe two at Worlds, but I do vividly remember us beating Infinity Esports, and it was with Udisoft as our substitute jungler, so there weren't many expectations coming into the game using him, but he really did perform well. And I remember I was playing Alistair, and we were blue side, and I was finding very creative flanks and engages, and it felt like I had a really big part in bringing out that victory. So that was exciting for me, and I felt proud about
Solid
that.
Snake, can he find a way in? 5K and dropping. Direwolves, are they going to risk the 50-50? Solid Snake's going in. Realm Warp is there. Alistair's going to try to force him back. This corner, can he make it into the pit? Relic in the middle of everybody. Renyu goes in. He takes down the jungler. The Baron does drop in his favor, though. Maybe Infinity can fight this back. They have the man advantage, but they've lost the Baron. If they die here, the game will end in the favor of Direwolves. Relic doing what he can to save the day, but the 80 carry's already gone. Kodopako versus the world as Direwolves just clean up this fight, take the Baron, and look to end all hope for this Infinity lineup. If you are an OPL fan, this is exactly the game one you wanted to see, because Direwolves are absolutely cleaning house.
Triple and Cupcake, who were a large part of finding a lot of those mid-game fights and kind of setting up for allowing Direwolves to come back into the game. But you've got to imagine the pressure that was on that young man.
Yeah, hearing about the OPL, you know, getting cut at the end of 2020 was definitely like a big hit. The LCO, I heard some rumors that something was going to be around, so I kept up my motivation and my practice. And yeah, playing with Direwolves, we've had a lot of history. I think Direwolves is a great org, and I know like people behind the scenes, and it felt like an ideal kind of fitting way to get back into League full time from 2018, which was my last full time year with Direwolves. Now 2021, another full time year with Direwolves. Our first split performance, we came in with very high expectations. We thought we would be able to just kind of breeze through the competition, but from a very early stage, we realized that that wasn't the case, and we had to really do like a lot of reflecting. It really took us a long time to kind of find our best footing for Split 1, and we eventually found it. And honestly, finishing second place in the regular season felt like really good from the perspective that we were sitting at. And obviously the playoffs was a bit of a disappointment. It felt like anyone going into playoffs for the first split, whoever wanted it more, whoever put in more effort, more prep, they could like take the trophy home. It was anyone's game, and we fell short. So it was very disappointing, and we're gonna make sure that next split is different. When I do give myself time to reflect on my career, I do feel proud, but I don't like to think about it too much in case I get complacent, and I always want to achieve more. I would say I've had a successful career in OS, but I know that I'm not the best player and person that I can be, and that's what I want, so I'm just going to continue pushing myself.